This is Sam Prue from Who Would Win Masters. We've opened new official channels and we want you there. Follow Who Would Win Masters on Instagram and subscribe to youtube.com/@WhoWouldWinMasters. And on YouTube, click the Visit Community button to leave your 1v1 battle challenges. Leave a comment and you might just hear it read on the show. Be a part of the arena, be a part of the debate. Now let's dive in. Midnight settles over a silent jungle clearing. Leaves rustle, insects hum, and then a heavy landing bends the grass. Claws scrape stone as a shadow moves low and deliberate through the dark. Fabric shifts, metal beads rattle softly. Every step is quiet, but the ground seems to feel it. Then the night breaks. A blur of red and yellow rockets overhead, air whistling. A pair of long ears slice through the canopy before a cheerful thud drops into the clearing. Boots skid in the dirt, a cape snaps in the breeze. One figure stalks forward, silent, precise. The other bounces on his heels like gravity is just a suggestion. Stealth meets slapstick, Royal Hunter meets cartoon hero. This week, the King of Wakanda, Black Panther, versus the Cosmic Bunny, the Rabbit of Steel, Captain Carrot. Tonight, we cross the multiverse where royal power meets cartoon physics, where one hero's claws might meet the most dangerous vegetables in comics. Welcome back to another matchup from Who Would Win Masters. I am Sam Proof on all the socials, and in this episode, who goes to drive-thrus just so they'll ask him, Wakanda sauce do you want? The chieftain with better tech than Verizon who asks, can you hear me ow? Black Panther! And representing DC Comics, the only bunny that's making you care at all about Earthsea, the hero who knows justice is best served raw, Captain Carrot. We're joined tonight once again by the wonderful, immaculate Robert Clark Chan. Welcome back to the show for this unprecedented back-to-back battle. How are you doing? Are you amped for tonight?
I am so tired. I am
Perfect.
honestly tired of beating Ray's buttocks over and over and over constantly. It's easy. Don't get me wrong. It's the easiest thing on earth to do. But, even just, if you walk far enough, eventually your feet get tired. So
Wow.
I don't even know what to do here. I'm just here for the fans. I know that they like it, they need it, and so I want to do it for them.
And strangely lackadaisical words from the guest debater. All right, it is time for the Tale of the Tape. Tonight's Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Old Random Cables. If you find yourself with extra cables around the house, you might be tempted to just throw them away. Why not? That's what people would do, right? No. That's why people think you're stupid. What if you need that cable later? So what if it's old? Good luck finding another 25-year-old RCA cable anywhere. That's why it's best to just have an old cardboard box or Rubbermaid container in the garage to store all of your old random cables. Old Random Cables. You'll thank me within a decade. Or two. All right. Today we have Power versus Power. What?
Sorry, I just need to jump in here. I am horrified that the tagline to that sponsor isn't, you need a dongle? I got you.
Wow.
I can get you.
I feel like that gets us a strike. I don't know if the algorithm likes that. Look it up.
It is a real term. The first time I found out, I was like, that's seriously not what you're calling those things, right?
I remember about 15 years ago, I heard some people talking about a dongle in a cafe down in Hollywood, and I was very concerned. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we're here to talk about power versus power, strength versus strength in Black Panther versus Captain Carrot. A battle you'll only find on Who Would Win Masters. Black Panther, or T'Challa, is the king of Wakanda in Marvel Comics. Black Panther uses his country's vast supply of vibranium to achieve high scientific success, with the resulting tech extremely useful for him in battle. Black Panther was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and debuted in Fantastic Four number 52 back in 1966. On the other side, we have DC Comics' own Captain Carrot. Hailing from Earth-C, Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew were a superhero stable operating out of Follywood, California. Captain Carrot, or Roger Rodney Rabbit, as he is otherwise known, has after eating carrots infused with power from a meteor. Captain Carrot was created by Roy Thomas and Scott Shaw and debuted in the New Teen Titans number 16 in 1982. That is both of our characters. So now, Robert, it is time to introduce your opponent once again, although he should look pretty familiar since this is a direct rematch. He wants people to know him as Almighty, but here on Who Would Win Masters, we just call him Ray. Ray Stakenas, are you ready to throw down once again?
I am deeply ready to throw down once again. I am wearing a very special shirt today, bought to me by Mr. Robert Clark Chan himself. This features Serpentor from G.I. Joe. This is my revenge match. This is an important historical Who Would Win Masters event. I don't take losing with a G.I. Joe character lightly. I don't like what Sam did with his decision.
Sorry.
Delightful song aside. I immediately, as soon as that episode ended, I called out for an immediate rematch. And thankfully, Robert Clark Chan answered the bell. He would be here with us today so that I have a chance to win some heat back with an absolutely amazing character.
Actually, it says right here that he answered and said, "Who is this? How did you get this number? Please stop calling me." That's weird. All right.
That's my default. That's my default response to literally anybody. Why would you even call me on the phone? That's ridiculous.
Why did I pick this up in the first place?
Well, I can't call him out if I don't call him. That's how it works.
I just want it known that in traditional setups, you have a best 2 out of 3 falls match. A person wins the first match, the other person wins the second match, then you have the third match, all to instill drama, make it worth listening to. I do not stand by that. I like 2 and done. I will crush you 2 in a row, and we will never have to have this happen again.
All right. And with that said, it is time for our rules in under 1 minute.
Here are your rules for Who Would Win Masters in 1 minute. Number 1, there will be 3 timed rounds with counterpoints allowed. Number 2, characters will have no prior knowledge of their opponent and no outside interference will be allowed. Number 3, keep the characters in character. Outliers and crossovers will be given less weight. Number 4, battles can be won by death, knockout, battlefield removal, or incapacitation. And number 5, after the battle, I will give my unofficial opinion as to who wins and why. However, I am just one voice. It will be up to all of you on our social media and our Patreon to make your voices heard as to who won.
All right, and those are our rules. Let's get straight into it. Point number 1 goes to our guest, so 3 minutes on the clock for Robert Clark Chan, starting now.
All right, listen. I'm going to cut you off before we even get started. I know where you're going to go. Your entire counter is going to be about Toon Force, and it should be. You put a Superman level character in there with an 8C. We all love Black Panther, but nobody's going to pick a fight. Nobody's going to pick T'Challa in a fight against, for all intents and purposes, the most powerful superhero in any universe. So you're going to say that because Captain Carrot can like bounce back after being smushed by a train or no selling a stick of dynamite to the face or, one of those anvils dropping off the top of a cliff or whatever, that doesn't count. Toon Force is not real. But the problem is that is baseline Captain Carrot. Completely without Toon Force, without any of, the crazy baseball bats and rubber physiology, whatnot, he is still orders of magnitude more powerful than Black Panther. He's got super strength. He's got super stamina. He's got invulnerability. He's got super speed. Any of that sound familiar? Yeah, because it's basically the same power set as Superman. He's able to leap entire cities with one jump. This is like OG Superman style flight. He can't actually fly, but he can jump so far that it might as well be flying. He's got even again without any superpowers, his base mental fortitude is enough to fight the psionic robot Ralph 124C4U without any enhancement whatsoever. Just like your base wisdom score is ridiculously high. He stops an airliner from crashing. He leaves paw prints in the metal and in the concrete of the tarmac. There's like huge divots because he stops a huge frickin' Boeing 747 or whatever. He's also, again, not dumb. The source of his power comes from these special cosmic carrots, and they wear off after a time. And
30 seconds remaining.
You're looking at it and thinking like, oh, well, Black Panther can just outsmart him. But he knows his limitations, and he prepares for that every single time. In fact, he can even use it. One time he was, bound up in special manacles, and he became Rodney Rabbit. I'm sorry, Roger Rabbit, Rodney Rabbit. This came out before Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so obviously they had to do a little switching up the names at the last minute. And check out it.
All right, it is time for Ray to get his point number one. 3 minutes on the clock for Ray, starting now.
No, wait a minute. No, guys, I'm sorry. I took all my notes for Captain Carrot this battle.
What?
First off, Captain Carrot is obviously a magnitude stronger than T'Challa. Captain Carrot has Superman level powers. Superman's never been hit so hard.
Sam, what's happening here?
What? Because we're doing a battle of Black Panther versus Captain Carrot. Look,
yeah, I do Captain Carrot.
Obviously, I know we didn't talk about it ahead of time, but I thought it was safely assumed that I would be taking Captain Carrot in this battle, and that you would be taking Black Panther.
Wait. I'm taking Black Panther?
Why would you not be taking Black Panther? I would be taking Captain Carrot.
Oh, so you're saying I can only do black men? Is that what you're saying?
I think we should just...
That's
Captain
very
Carrot.
much...
I took this on as a challenge because Ray is super big into Captain Carrot. He was like, "Oh, I could do it. I can beat you with anything. I beat you with Captain Carrot. I can beat you with NFL Super Pro." And I'm like, "All right, fine. We're gonna do this again. I'm gonna tie one hand behind my back. I'm gonna do Captain Carrot." And now you're saying that, I can only do Black Panther like a legitimate superhero? Excuse me?
No, I'm not trying to say anything about anything, Robert Clark Chan. It was just going into a Captain Carrot versus Black Panther battle. It's obvious who would take which side.
Right. And
that sounds terrible, but like
Captain Carrot versus Shang-Chi, I would be Shang-Chi too, huh? Oh, is it?
In that case, it's not the other person really. It would just be who you get because I talk about Captain Carrot.
Do you have any idea how long I've had to research this thing? Do you know it is not easy to do Captain Carrot because nobody cares about Captain Carrot? Yeah, I had to go find individual issues and scour to find information of this battle. Are you kidding me?
But like, I don't.
Are you kidding me?
Wow. No, I'm not. I just don't. I don't have a black. I mean, I could.
I could
try to.
You should finish that sentence.
Guy, hold on. Oh, guys. Oh, my power's going out. My look, guys. It's getting a little shaky in here.
We're looking directly.
Guys, I don't know what's happening. My internet's going horrible.